So practice video supplement to the positional plan point on that video. It's also going to say in the pentatonic overlaps. Just skip that part. We'll get to it in a forthcoming lesson. But the positional plan point will be at the beginning. So from stuff we talked about, I'm just reading off the page I gave you. First and foremost, I would like you to pause this video and learn the note names like hardcore. Just spend some time. We talked about maybe flashcards or whatever. And that, sharps and flats, not really that complicated. E goes straight to F, B goes straight to C. In every other instance, this is A, this is A sharp, this is A, this is A flat, this is G sharp. So yeah, totally. And that's what we meant by landmarks, was that if we learned G and C, A and D, that we could find G sharp,
right,
D sharp, so forth. And when we start to say D sharp minors, it just seems like we're starting to say complicated things, but D sharp is no less a musical note than D. It's just a fret over, and that part we are processing with a little teeny bit of deductive reasoning. So yes, please pause and get your note names down. Then we had the corrections to the fingerings with the pinky reach in them, with that. And that's confusing because in the first two fingerings we fully did do it this way. That's because that fed right into what we were doing. Whereas here we're going more of like a comfortable rock bluesy type fingering, where we're going comfy, 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 yuck, comfy, comfy, comfy. So just like one split second of yuck. And the same thing will be true of the second to last one, number 6, where so it's like comfy, yuck, yuck, and then the whole rest of it. So it's every single string goes index ring. No, index ring, yuck, index ring, yuck, index ring, cozy. It's actually a pretty terrible fingering then. Cool, so there we are. So and some use specific stuff, making sure that you're actually pointing to the root with the finger that we hit it with. One way you can make sure you're doing that is when you're playing through the fingering. Just say C in your head to yourself or aloud when you hit it, which is just going to be exactly this C or exactly this C in every single one of them until we get up here. The term root, again, just refers to C in a C major scale, C in a C chord, C in anything where it's a C thing, so root or tonic describes that, and is really straightforward music terminology. That's the extent of it. The root in a G minor chord is G. So yeah, you can say root in your head or whatever. But either way, the ones where you probably might use the wrong finger are the ones where they're under your pinky, or the ones where it's on a higher string. So I doubt you messed this one up or this one. But it's probably 3, and then maybe 5. While we're at it, we talked about the when I get up to the 8th fret-ish thumb mechanics thing, where what we're going for is just very slowly moving your whole situation. What's been happening is that when you go across your body, you felt like you need to roll your thumb on its side, which was a product of, when we get here, going like that a little bit, and your elbow moving away from your body. And it is a bit strange, but the frets are closer together, so what we did during the lesson was just very slowly start from 2nd fret and move up to 9th fret, and then just play there. The frets are actually closer together up there, so key point is elbow not out to the side at all, just straight. It should really only get to be a problem when you get to like the 15th fret starting up there. That's when by definition we're all in that situation. So yeah, not rolling your thumb and not dragging your thumb either. Cool, so please pause your video and work on those concepts. And now it's imperative that you go back and randomize the order that you think about the fingerings in. So roll the die, do whatever, and first key on the ones that you're still forgetting, if there are such fingerings. If the ones that trip you out are 6 and 3 and 5, for instance, just play 6, 3, and 5 a whole bunch, rather than wait till they come up in context. Don't turn scales into songs. Like when I'm playing in rhythm, this sounds cool. We're just learning hand movement, and you can take as long as you need to between notes. Like what you don't want to be doing is going like, oh, I messed up, and then having to go back to the beginning, rather than just kind of going through and working it out on the fly. And that's two different parts of our brain. One for, I'm going to take this test and then forget it, and one for, I actually need to retain this. And we'll trick you into using brain part B. That's everything to review, aside from the idea of sectional randomization. Like you could, if you're having trouble randomizing all of them, which I don't think you will if you just spend a little more time playing all 6, especially if you already know the first 3. Just don't even play the first 3. Just start at the annoying ones, and just KO that part. We don't want the sticking point of I don't quite know the finger ends randomized. So please stop and do that. Flashcards 1 through 7, it's all good, and no reasoning about the first one starts on 1 or any of that. Also, just really focused on the physical hand movement. Because when you're no longer in C, when you're playing in a different key, you're not going to just be able to be like, and there's C. C is just the key we started in, but the very first thing we did was learn note names today. So you will have a much easier time having spent adequate time on that. And like, that one's B, it's B flat, and so forth. Cool, so that's everything that we did in review. And about 8 minutes. Yeah, there we go, that's you. And then everything else you need to fix is things that are occurring in your own head, that are very singular to your own thought processes, like thinking about 1 starting with the first fret and so forth. So, yeah, there we are. And then, so go ahead and do all that stuff, and then move on to your playing point video that I've sent you to supplement.